All right, let's jump right in. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful, yet practically invisible, features inside every single modern Bitcoin wallet. It's a secret privacy tool that works automatically to protect you. And by the end of this, you'll see the Bitcoin network in a totally new light. And to get started, we don't even need to talk about Bitcoin. We just need to talk about coffee. To really get how this all works, let's forget about crypto for a second. Let's just think about a super simple, everyday thing you've done 1,000 times. You're at a coffee shop, and you've only got cash. You walk up to the counter and hand over a $20 bill.
The coffee costs $3.
And what you get back is $17. Now here is the absolute key to everything. You don't get your original $20 bill back with a $3 hole punched in it, right? No way. You get entirely new bills and coins. Keep that simple idea locked in your head. That simple concept, getting brand new bills back as change, is the perfect analogy for how Bitcoin transactions actually work. See, Bitcoin isn't like a bank account with one big running total. It's much, much more like a wallet full of digital cash. And that digital cash comes in the form of something called a UTXO. It sounds technical, but I promise, it's the fundamental building block for every single payment on the network. Get this, and the rest is easy. So UTXO, it stands for Unspent Transaction Output. But honestly, the easiest way to think of them is just as individual digital bills or coins. Your total Bitcoin balance isn't one number sitting in a vault. It's just the sum of all these different UTXOs that your wallet controls.
So if your wallet says you have 0.85 Bitcoin, what it really means is you might have a few different pieces under the hood. You know, like a 0.5 BTC bill, a 0.25 BTC bill, and a 0.1 BTC bill, and they all add up to your total. It's not one big lump sum.
Now let's watch this play out. Let's say you need to pay someone 0.3 BTC. Your wallet scans its bills and grabs the 0.5 BTC1 to cover the cost. And just like you can't tear off a piece of a 20, you can't just slice off a piece of a UTXO. The entire 0.5 BTC has to be spent. This creates two brand new outputs. One is the 0.3 BTC payment you're making, and the other is the 0.2 BTC in change that has to come back to you. And this is where the magic really starts. The destination for that leftover change is the key to one of Bitcoin's most important built-in privacy features. It's sent to something called a change address. And this is the hero of our story, because it solves a huge problem on a public ledger. And the villain of the story is something called address reuse. Think about it. If your change was always sent back to the exact same address it came from, anyone watching the blockchain could see that address A sent money and got change back to address A. Do that just a couple of times, and they can easily connect all your spending, figure out how much you have in total, and potentially make you a target. It's a massive privacy leak.
You can see the difference right away. The old way, address reuse, it leaves this neat, predictable trail of breadcrumbs for anyone to follow. But the modern way, using a brand new change address for every single transaction, shatters those links. It turns your financial history into a tangled mess that's much, much harder for an outsider to follow.
So let's just lock this in. The UTXO is your digital bill. The input is you handing that bill over. The outputs are the payment for the coffee and the change you get back. And the change address, that's a brand new private pocket for that change to land in. This simple mechanic is how your privacy is protected, by breaking the links between your transactions. And you know what the best part about this whole powerful privacy tool is? You don't have to do a thing. It all just works, humming along in the background every single time you press send.
This automation is all made possible by a really clever technology called Hierarchical Deterministic, or just HD wallets. That 12 or 24-word recovery phrase you write down, it's not just one key, it's a master key. From that single phrase, your wallet can mathematically generate a nearly endless tree of new addresses for both receiving payments and, crucially, for catching all your change.
And we can see the real-world impact of this. I mean, look at this. Back in 2013, over 70% of transaction outputs reused addresses. That's a huge privacy problem. By 2023, that number had dropped to around 50%. This massive shift is almost entirely thanks to HD wallets making good privacy automatic and effortless for everyone. So your wallet handles all this for you, but it's actually a really fun exercise to see if you can spot the change yourself on a public block explorer. Learning to do this gives you a little window into how blockchain analysis actually works. When you look at a transaction, there are a few telltale signs. The first and biggest clue is a non-round, kind of ugly number.
Payments are often for a clean price, but change is just the leftover digital scrap. Also, look for newer address formats, like those starting with BC1Q, and addresses that have zero previous history.
This is really the core idea to remember. A payment might be for a nice, round number, but the change output is almost always going to be the one with a weird, random-looking value. It's the digital equivalent of getting a handful of miscellaneous coins back from a cash purchase.
And this really matters for the vast majority of users. By 2025, it's estimated that over 80% of all Bitcoin addresses held less than 1 Bitcoin. The automatic creation of change addresses is a huge privacy win for the largest group of users on the network, helping them avoid leaving that simple, easy-to-follow trail. So, what's the best way for you to manage all of this? The answer is simple. Don't. Just don't. Trust your modern wallet. It is designed from the ground up to handle this perfectly. Trying to interfere is not only totally unnecessary, but can actually hurt your privacy. Just let the software do its job.
Now, a common question that always comes up is whether this extra step costs you more money. It's a great question, so let's clear it up.
And the answer is no. You do not pay a separate fee for the change output. Your transaction fee is based on the total data size of the entire transaction package. The change is just one component of that package, so its cost is already bundled into the single network fee you pay for the whole shebang. In the end, the change address is a perfect example of elegant design, a simple, automated feature that provides a powerful layer of privacy. It works silently to protect you in ways you don't even have to see, which leaves us with a final thought. What other invisible technology is quietly working to secure your digital life every single day?